Now, after understanding the types of polynomials, now we come to the zeros of a polynomial. What does it mean? So we'll do this one example, and after this, we'll come to know what is the definition of zero of the polynomial. Let Px be x minus 1. If I say you to find the value of this polynomial at x equal to 0, then see what comes. So put x equal to 0 here, then this becomes 0 minus 1. The answer is minus 1. Now if I ask you to say put x equal to 1, then you put x equal to 1 in this polynomial, then you get 1 minus 1 equal to 0. Now you can see what happens when I put x equal to 1 in this polynomial. The answer of the polynomial becomes 0 at that value. So it means there now you can think, can there be more such values of x at which this polynomial can be 0? So the answer of this question will be no. Why we are saying no? Because you can see this polynomial is a linear polynomial. So maximum it can have one value of x which can make this polynomial as 0. So this value, actually this particular value is called the zero of the polynomial. Reason being that because at this point of x, the value of the polynomial is coming as 0. So this x equal to 1 is called the zero of the polynomial. X equal to 1 is called the zero of this particular px. So now we can understand the definition now for the zero of the polynomial, and that I can write also. So some definition can be formed that the values or value of the variable which makes given polynomial 0, means you can see that at x equal to 1 the given polynomial which was px minus 1 became 0. So polynomial 0 is called the zero of the polynomial. So this is something that you can understand this polynomial, because this polynomial was linear, so we had only one value of x which can make that polynomial 0. And this in general the value or values I am taking, because if it is a quadratic one, then there can be two values of x which can make this polynomial 0. If it is a quadratic one, if this is a cubic one, then there can be 3, maximum 3, not always 3. There can be maximum 3, minimum can be there is a possibility that there is no value of x which can make the polynomial 0. So you should all remember one thing, that in this chapter we are discussing polynomial only in one variable. So we are discussing everything in terms of one variable. Let's discuss this exercise 2.2, which question number 1 asks us to find the value of the polynomial. This is the polynomial 5x minus 4x square plus 3 at these three values. So first we take like px, we assume that px is this is 5x minus 4x square plus 3. So we'll find the value of this polynomial at 0, because the first point is at 0. So p0 will be 5 into 0 minus 4 into 0 square plus 3. So this answer will be 3. So value of the polynomial at x equal to 0 is 3. So here you can also say that this 0 is not the zero of the polynomial. Second, you see that x equal to minus 1. So put x equal to minus 1. So 5 into minus 1 minus 4 into minus 1 square plus 3. Please remember one thing, whenever there is a negative number, please put the bracket so that your plus minus mistake will not occur. So that is very important point to remember always. So this is 5 into 1, this is minus 5, this is 4, this is 4, and this is 3. So minus 9, this is equal to minus 6. So you can again see that x equal to minus 1 is not the zero of the polynomial. Then what this minus 6 is? We say this is the value of the polynomial at x equal to minus 1. Now take third one, x equal to 2. So put 2, then 5 into 2 minus 4 into 2 square plus 3. So 5 to the 10 minus this is 2 to the 4, this is 16 plus 3. So this is 13, this answer is minus 3. So here you can again see that 2 is not the 0 of the polynomial. The value of the polynomial at x equal to 2 is minus 3. This question number 2 is also similar to question number 1. They are asking you to find the value of the polynomial at 0, at 1, at 2, and in that there are polynomials. There are 3 parts. So I have taken 2. 1 you will take as a homework. So find P0, P1, P2 for each of the following. So we will find P0 first. So P0 will be 0 square minus 0 plus 1. So answer is 1. We'll find P1. P1 will be 1 square minus 1 plus 1. So answer is this. 1, 1, 1 get cancelled. So this is P now 2. This is 2 square minus 2 plus 1. So this is 4 minus 2. 2 plus 1. This is 3. So your answer is 3. Now come to the second polynomial. This P0 will be 0 cube. Answer is 0. And P1, this will be 1 cube. Answer is 1. P2, 2 cube. Answer is 8. Now my question from you, then out of these 3 values 0, 1, 2, which is the 0 of this polynomial px cube? So your answer should be 0. Why 0? Because at this x equal to 0, your value of the polynomial is coming as 0. So this 0 is called the 0 of the polynomial. Now question number 3 we discuss. Verify whether the following polynomial have zeros from the numbers mentioned adjacent. So this px is given, this 3x plus 1, and the value is given x equal to minus 1 by 3. So they are asking us to verify whether this x equal to minus 1 by 3 is the 0 of the polynomial or not. So simple, if I put this value x equal to minus 1 by 3 in this polynomial, and if my answer comes 0, then I can say yes, this x equal to minus 1 by 3 is the 0 of the polynomial. So let's see this p, I'm putting this minus 1 by 3. So this becomes 3 into minus 1 by 3 plus 1. So you can put bracket, but okay, space is less. So this is minus 1 plus 1. Answer is now 0. So yes, I can say yes, x equal to minus 1 by 3 is the 0 of the given polynomial. Now come to this x equal to minus x square minus 1. So now you can see that this is a quadratic polynomial. So quadratic polynomial can have maximum 2 zeros. Maximum 2 zeros. But if I ask you what are the minimum number of zeros, so your answer will be there is like no 0. So I can give you the example. You can take this example, px equal to x square plus 1. So you can see in this example there is no value of x if you put here, and this answer of the value of this polynomial becomes 0. So here you can see that is a quadratic polynomial, but it has no 0. It has no 0 because you cannot find any value of x that if you put here in this polynomial and the answer of this polynomial comes 0. So it has no 0 at all. But you see this, so we'll put the value given these values. First you 1 you put, then 1 square minus 1 is 0, and minus 1 you put. So minus 1, if you put this minus 1 is square minus 1, this minus 1 is 1, minus 1 is again 0. So it means x equal to 1, x equal to minus 1 are the zeros of the polynomial. Okay, so this third one I am leaving for you. You try this yourself, that whether you check whether these are the zeros of the polynomial or not. Now in question number 3, the values were given and you were asked to verify whether they are the 0 of the polynomial or not. But now question number 4, they are asking you to find the values of x which can be called the zeros of this of these polynomials. So how to find the zero of the polynomial? I am just going to mention this. You first put px equal to 0. So if you put px equal to 0, you will get x plus 5 equal to 0, and from here you can write x equal to minus 5. So this x equal to minus 5 is the zero of the polynomial. If some of you want to check whether this is a zero of the polynomial or not, so you can put this value x equal to minus 5 in this polynomial. Here you put x equal to minus 5, then minus 5 plus 5, so it becomes 0. So you can verify whether your answer is correct or not. Come to now this third part. Again you let px equal to 0. See, this is the way how you can find the zeros of the polynomial. So you have to assume that the value of the polynomial is 0, and that way you will find the value of x. So now this becomes 2x plus 5 equal to 0, and you will get x equal to minus 5 by 2 as the value of x, which is the zero of the polynomial. Now come to this sixth part, px equal to ax and a not equal to 0. So I am assuming that px is equal to 0, and according to this ax, this imply that ax equal to 0, and then x will be 0 by a, and answer will be 0. So here the zero of the polynomial is this 0. Okay. Now my question from you all, then why this a not equal to 0 given? I will ask this question from you all, but you should just listen this very carefully. The reason I am giving you, that if a equal to 0, then this polynomial will become a 0 polynomial. If this becomes a 0 polynomial, then there is no 0 of the 0 polynomial. So make it, and you know this, that this is a linear polynomial, and in linear polynomial, when I explained the general form, there a was not equal to 0. So that reason is there, that a cannot be 0. If a is 0, this polynomial will become a 0 polynomial. Come to this last part, px equal to cx plus d. Again, c is not equal to 0 given, as this is a linear one, and coefficient of the highest degree cannot be equal to 0. So that's why c not equal to 0 given. So we can put px equal to 0. So you will get cx plus d equal to 0, and x will be minus d by c. So this is your 0 of the polynomial. Now we are going to learn very important result of this chapter, and that result is under this remainder theorem. What is the result? What is remainder theorem? We'll discuss all, but first we do this small part, that divide this polynomial by this gx. You have done long division in class 8, so I'm using my long division and I'm solving it. So this is 3x square plus x. So those who are not in a comfortable position to do this long division, so you will let me know. I'll explain you once again. So this first term, there is a rough work that you can do. This is the first term of the dividend, divide by first term of your divisor. So this will come as 3x. So that 3x will be your first term of the quotient, and then this 3x has to be multiplied by this x. So this comes as 3x square, and again you multiply 3x by 1, so this comes as 3x. So now you subtract, so this cancels, this becomes minus 2x. Now next step will be, you take this minus 2x first term of your now dividend, this is the new dividend, and divide the first term of the by the first term of the divisor. So this becomes minus 2. So write this minus 2 here, and this minus 2 will become your second term of the quotient. So now you can see, multiply this minus 2 by these two terms. So minus 2 multiplied by x, so it becomes minus 2x, and minus 2 multiplied by 1, so it becomes minus 2 again. So you can see this becomes plus and this becomes plus. first term got cancelled and this is now 2. So here you can see that what 2 is. 2 is your remainder, and what x plus 1 is your divisor, and what 3x minus 2 is your quotient, and this 3x square plus x is your dividend. So this is your remainder, this is your divisor, and this is your quotient, and this one is your dividend. So we know very important thing that dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. So this is very important result that you have done so many times in class 8. Now, but here some important thing is there, that degree of the remainder cannot be greater than the degree of the divisor, even though it cannot be even equal. So one important observation is that degree of remainder is always less than degree of divisor. So that is very important result that you have seen now. Now we have come into the position where we can discuss and we can define or we can understand what is the remainder theorem. So I'm just going to explain you the remainder theorem as it is given in the book also, but you see what is that remainder theorem. If px be any polynomial of degree greater than or equal to 1, so that px, for example here, that px, the degree of px is 2, and let a be any real number and a is any real number if px is divided by the linear polynomial x minus a. Here that a, they are talking about a is for the time being in our this example a is minus 1. So a is minus 1 in this example because they are saying any value of a be any real number if px is divided by the linear polynomial x minus a. So if I take this as x minus a, then a, the value of a will be minus 1. So a is minus 1 in this example, and then remainder is pa. Remainder is pa. It means you can simply see I am just taking you again with this example, like this is x minus a as a divisor and this is px as a this px as a dividend. Some quotient will come, let's say this is gx, this quotient is gx, and of course when you do the calculation there will be a remainder also. So remainder I am saying, let's say this rem, in short you can say remainder as r also. This is your remainder. So according to this rule which I have written earlier, then px can be written as x minus a, which is a divisor, into gx. And now you see what remainder according to this definition, a degree of remainder is always less than degree of divisor. Now you can say degree of divisor. What is the degree of divisor here? Now this is x minus a is a divisor, so degree of this divisor is 1. So if it is 1, and it means that degree of remainder has to be less than 1. So if degree is less than 1, it means it is a constant. So if it is a constant, let's say this constant is we can say this constant as, you can say this as c, this constant as c. Now, so this is the relationship that you have seen above also. Now, in particular, if I put x equal to a, you see what happens in this. So it will be pa, this is a minus a into ga plus c. So you can see, or this c can be called as remainder also, or you should understand that here that c is your remainder in that particular example. So I am just putting this arrow so that you can understand it better. Here your c is the remainder. So this this term, because this is 0 into GA, so this complete term will become 0. This is plus C, so ultimately that PA is C. So what we have understood from this remainder theorem, that there is no need to do this long division if you are looking for your remainder. So simple is that whatever the factor is given to you, you substitute that factor equal to 0, and that x value, like here if I put x minus a equal to 0, then I'll get x equal to a. If I get x equal to a, put this value in the given polynomial. So whatever answer comes, that answer is your remainder. So this, you can say this is your remainder. So this is very important result. We'll see some problems based on this remainder theorem. Now we'll discuss exercise 2.3. The first question is, find the remainder when x cube plus 3x square plus 3x plus 1 is divided by x plus 1. So we'll do these. There are three parts that I am going to take. You see, first part, you first assume that px is equal to this px. You assume that this is x cube plus 3x square plus 3x plus 1, and let gx is equal to x plus 1. So see the procedure how I am following this. So put that gx equal to 0. So you get x plus 1 equal to 0. You get x equal to minus 1. So now this remainder we have to find. So simply put this here. This minus a is your, in the remainder theorem it was like a. So I am putting in the polynomial this value minus 1. See what comes. This is minus 1 cube. This is 3 minus 1 square plus 3 into minus 1, and this plus 1. So this becomes minus 1, and this becomes 3. This is minus 3, and this is plus 1. So answer is coming now 0. So it means that remainder of this polynomial when it is divided by x plus 1 is 0. You can also verify this result. You can simply take the you do the long division, and you can see your remainder will be 0. But this is, long division is taking a lot of time, and if we are looking for only for remainder, then this remainder theorem can be used. And one more interesting thing that you can observe here, x equal to minus 1 is also the 0 of the polynomial, because this is making your remainder as 0. So you can generalize this one important result also. If any value of the variable making this polynomial as 0, so this means this minus 1 here in this particular case, this minus 1 is the 0 of the polynomial. So this is fine. Now we discuss the second part. This is the first part done. Second is x minus 1 by 2. Put x minus 1 by 2 equal to 0. You get x equal to 1 by 2. Now we'll put this value 1 by 2. Then see what comes. This is 1 by 2 cube plus 3 1 by 2 square. This is plus 3 into 1 by 2 plus 1. So this becomes 1 by 2 cube. This is 1 by 8. This is 3 by 4. This is 3 by 2. This is 1. So you can see the LCM can be 8. So 8 is the LCM. Then this is 1 plus 3 2 is 6. Then 4 3 is 12, and then plus 8. So your answer is going to be 6 18 18 8 26 27 by 8. So you can see this, the remainder will be 27 by 8 when you divide this polynomial px by x minus 1 by 2. And again, one more important thing, can I ask you whether 1 by 2 x equal to 1 by 2 is the 0 of the polynomial? So your answer should be no, because your remainder is not coming 0. So very simple fact you remember please, that if your remainder is coming 0 at particular point or particular value of x, then that value of x will be called 0 of the polynomial. This question number 2, find the remainder when x cube minus ax square plus 6x minus a is divided by x minus a. You have to find remainder. So we assume let px equal to x cube minus ax square plus 6x minus a, and gx we assume this is x minus a. So we put x minus, you can say gx equal to 0 implies that x minus a equal to 0. Here you can say x equal to a. So put that value at 0, x equal to a. So you get a cube minus a into a square plus 6 into a minus a. So this becomes a cube minus a cube, and 6a minus 5, this is a. So ultimately your answer is 5a. So 5a is your remainder. Now question number 3, again very important question. Check whether 7 plus 3x is a factor of this. So now this factor, it means if you see, take an example, if I ask you that 4 is a factor of 24. So you can answer this, if you divide 24 by 4, your answer, if your remainder should be 0, it means it is a factor. So we can see, so now what I am just discussing, that if I find the remainder when this 3x cube plus 7x is divided by 7 plus 3x, if my remainder comes 0, then I can say yes, 7 plus 3x is a factor of this. If it doesn't come 0, means remainder if doesn't come 0, then we can say it is not a factor. So we simply put let 7 plus 3x equal to 0. So you can get x equal to minus 7 by 3. And now I am putting this value in this polynomial. Let's say this is the px. So p, I am putting 7 by 3. You see what answer comes? 3 into minus 7 by 3 whole cube plus 7 into minus 7 by 3. So I can see that this can be written as, now we simplify this. So after simplifying this, I am getting this 343, because 7 cube is 343, and this 3 and this 3 cube, and if I 3 can be cancelled, so it will be 9, and this is minus 49 by 3. So after taking LCM, this is 9. I can say this is after simplifying, you are getting 490. So which is not equal to 0. So it means you can say that 7 plus 3x is not a factor of 3x cube plus 7x. So please suggest me if you want something else, more explanation, and those who have not subscribed, please subscribe.